Time for team of the week. I'm going to head up to our brand new LED floor and wall up here for this week's team of the week. So we're going to go around the infield, catcher all the way through the outfield, DH, starting pitcher, closing pitcher. I am going to preface this by saying this week's team of the week was by far the most difficult team I've ever had to put together. Nobody in Major League Baseball went off this past week. I mean, and these names, there's really not many superstars in this team of the week. These guys had good weeks. They had the best week of anybody in baseball. But I was like going through and picking my team of the week, like, this was not a great week for a lot of guys in Major League Baseball, at least offensively. So we're going to start with catcher. This week's catcher on team of the week is Jake Rogers. Detroit Tigers Jake Rogers hit .462 on the week with a homer and a 1.154 OPS. Jake Rogers has been playing really well lately, and he is really close to hitting 20 home runs this season. So like a sneaky good year for Jake Rogers. Let's move on over to first base. You got Lamont Wade Jr. Really good for the Giants this week. Hit .476 with a homer and had an OPS just south of 1,200 on the week. Great nickname as well when he does something in a night game. Late Night Lamont, which is just a great nickname. He is my first baseman on team of the week. Let's move on over to second base. You have Andy Ibanez of the Detroit Tigers. Look at the Tigers getting some love in here this week. Hit .438, a homer, a 1214 OPS on the week. He is my second baseman on team of the week, and another underrated player. Andy Ibanez, underrated baseball player. Let's move on over to third base. My third baseman on team of the week is Eleuris Montero of the Colorado Rockies. Again, a lot of names on here that people might not know, which is actually why I love doing this segment every week, because of course you end up a lot of times with the Ronald Acuñas and the Aaron Judges and the Mookie Betts and the Shohei Ohtanis on here. But this is week to week, and a lot of these players are able to be acknowledged that might not typically be. So he had a great week. 360 on the week, a homer, 4 RBIs, and an OPS of right around 1,000 on the week. Let's move on over to shortstop. My shortstop on team of the week for the Los Angeles Dodgers is Miguel Rojas. Miguel Rojas hit .412, had a homer, 4 RBIs, and an OPS over 1,000 on the week. Miguel Rojas is going to be a big part of this team as we head towards October. Obviously, Mookie and Freddie, as I talked a lot about, make that offense go. But having depth in that lineup, and if Miguel Rojas is producing and as he was this week, hitting over 400, it just makes that lineup so much deeper and so much more dangerous. So he is my shortstop. Let's move on to the outfield, where we have 3 outfielders, regardless of their position. It's just 3 outfielders. So if there's somebody in center and that doesn't play center, it's like, just don't yell at me. First up, Oswaldo Cabrera, New York Yankees. I love that the Yankees have just they're letting the kids play. You know, they call up Jason Dominguez, who unfortunately ended up having to get Tommy John. But Oswaldo Cabrera as well, 364 homer, 3 RBIs, and OPS over 1,000 on the week as well. Really good week for Oswaldo Cabrera in left field for the Yankees. And center field for the Tampa Bay Rays on my team of the week is Randy Arozarena. Hit .400 with a homer, 3 RBIs, and again, an OPS over 1,000 on the week. Randy was in fuego this week. He's my second of 3 outfielders. Lastly, my third outfielder is Robbie Grossman of the Texas Rangers. He had a really good week. Hit over 400, 2 homers, an OPS of over 1,200 on the week. The Rangers are struggling, but it ain't because of Robbie Grossman. There's a lot of guys in that lineup that, the Rangers are a different conversation. The Rangers have some pitching and bullpen issues, but Robbie Grossman has been really good for that offense. He is my third of 3 outfielders. Last up, offensively, is my designated hitter on team of the week, Mark Canha. 316, 2 homers, 6 RBIs, and an OPS of right around 1,000 on the week. Big underrated pickup for the Brewers, by the way. They needed offense. I said they needed to go get offense. It's very obvious they need offense. That's what they needed last year. I said last year the Brewers need to go get offense, and all they did was trade away Josh Hader. This year they actually went out and got offense. They went and got Mark Canha, not the biggest, sexiest move that people are going to want at the deadline, but it was a good offensive bat, and he's producing for them, and he's producing for a first-place team that's going to get into the playoffs, and we're going to see Mark Canha being a big part of this lineup come October. He's my designated hitter on Team of the Week. Lastly are the two pitchers. We're going to start on the mound. Starting pitcher, Lucas Giolito. Cleveland Guardians legend, Lucas Giolito. Got the win on the mound, 7 innings pitched, 12 strikeouts. Just 1 walk, 12 punch-outs, 0 earned runs, and only 2 hits given up. This was prime Lucas Giolito. This is what he was a couple years ago when he's out there dominating. He's got one of the best changeups in the game, but it feels like for a little while it's just been hit or miss. And this was Lucas Giolito locked in for sure. He's my starting pitcher on Team of the Week. Lastly, my closer on Team of the Week is Will Vest for the Detroit Tigers. Now, Alex Lang is the closer there, but Will Vest did end up with a save on the week. This is probably where I struggled. There were not a lot of closers that got a lot of saves this week. I don't know what was going on around the game of baseball. Not a lot of good closers this week. But Will Vest is great. A save. Had 2 holds on the week as well. 4 1/3 innings pitched and 7 strikeouts, no runs. So that's a great week. I'm not downplaying what Will Vest did by any means. 4 1/3 innings, 7 punch outs, no runs, only 2 hits on the week, a save and 2 holds. So Will Vest rounds out my Team of the Week. That's 3 Tigers on here. Will Vest, Jake Rogers, Andy Ibanez. Wow. But that does it for my Team of the Week. Now to announce my Player of the Week, and that is going to be Robbie Grossman for what Robbie Grossman did this week. 409, 2 homers, 8 RBIs. I feel like the last couple of weeks, I think it's the last 3 weeks, there's been a Ranger on this Team of the Week that is dominating. It's been Mitch Garver a couple weeks, and now Robbie Grossman dominating on the week. But the Rangers, it's honestly frustrating to watch what all of the AL West is doing. It really is. You have the Astros, the Mariners, and the Rangers, and they're all just struggling. They can't figure it out. But it's not because of Robbie Grossman. 409, 2 homers, 8 RBIs. Robbie Grossman is my Player of the Week.